Alright, fellas, let's play this. Whatever title this game is, I don't remember. There is no title of the game, so let's start. The rain hit the car window. She sank into her seat, slowly falling asleep. She tried her best to keep her eyelids open, but they grew heavy as she followed the rhythmic movements of the windshield wipers. The driver, an older gentleman, was trying to hold a conversation with her, but his voice was drowned by all the sounds around them. Really? Because I don't hear anything. You must be real tired. Are you from far away? Rare to get new people in this old town. Everybody knows each other, so it's rare to see new faces. The man kept talking, but she was already fast asleep. The car's engine was barely a whisper in her ears, and the wind outside reminded her of better days. Between glimpses of lights in the beginning of a dream, she found herself sitting at a park, eating something sweet. The voice of a woman she couldn't place joked lightly, and her laugh was the most beautiful sound that graced her cars. I mean ears. I said cars. In her dream, they were lovers. They sat so close to each other that their knees were touching, and every time she would reach for the strawberries, the other woman would playfully take one faster than her and smudge some of the cream on her nose. With fake annoyance, she grabbed another strawberry and did the same. They both laughed as they now lay on the freshly cut grass. She turned to look at the other woman, and she smiled at her lovingly. The sound startled her awake and pulled her away from her fantasy. It was still a gray night, and visibility was low, but she could make out the town at the front of her new house. There you go. A mansion so big that even from far away she couldn't help. She couldn't see the rooftop. God damn it. She could see the driver talking under an umbrella. Talking? Driver talking under an umbrella with a woman. Okay. They were both standing under her umbrella, but she couldn't make out what they were talking about. Well, duh. Then the woman approached her side of the car and opened the door. Hello, darling. Welcome to Silverian Manor. You must be exhausted after such a long journey. What? An animal? A rabbit ears? Camellia was stunned for a moment. The woman standing in front of her reminded her of the woman from her dream. The long brown hair, red wine-colored eyes, and elegant demeanor. She found herself staring at her lips as she spoke, clearly noticing and giving her a big smile. She was so beautiful that her brain short-circuited for a moment. Oh, great. Please don't let this be another "it gets so lonely here" kind of obsession, simping for the looks, ignoring the red flags and stuff. You are beautiful. She blurted out without thinking. I didn't mean to say that. Not that I didn't think you were beautiful. I think you are very beautiful. I just... Thank you. Let's get you settled inside. Come under my umbrella. Okay, but first we need to have a change of pants, just in case. At first, Camilla was trying to keep a respectful distance, but the other woman pulled her in closer. Can't let you get sick on your first day here. Stay close. She nodded furiously. Alright. This place is so big. I knew it was big. It is famous for that, but wow. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ivy, the head maid, and this is Silverian Manor. With hundreds of years of history, you should be honored to be working in such a place. My throat hurts. I'm Camellia Robinson, the new maid. My family always talked about this place. I'm so eager to finally work here. You said as much in your cover letter. Certainly a joyful read. I don't think I've ever read about someone's pet in a cover letter before. I wanted to show I'm responsible and capable of taking care of others. The place was slightly illuminated by the single light in the middle of the entryway. The darkness from outside seemed to seep in, and the shadows from the trees dancing in the wind made strange figures on the floor. Hick. You sweet thing, come with me. I'll help you get situated. They walked together through the long hallways. I've explained the history of the manor as she kept a slow pace, making sure to always stay no more than a few feet from her. Every once in a while, thunder would interrupt the conversation. Camellia would jump at the sound and cling to Ivy, who didn't seem to mind. Is there anything I may assist you with? Please do not hesitate to ask. Salary, payment, cash. Save. What is the title of this game? Cling to her. I just need a moment. You are so cute. I could eat you up. Ivy patted her head gently, trying to reassure her. We don't get storms like these often. Hopefully our rooms are in the basement, so it should dampen the sound enough for you to rest tonight. The staff sleeps in the basement? Originally, yes, but now the most of the staff are women. There aren't enough rooms anymore. The few men who live here sleep in a separate building in the garden. Isn't that better than the basement? You'll see when we get there. I'll introduce you to the rest of the maids tonight. Tomorrow to the rest of the staff. Stuff? Tomorrow. How scandalous. You want to go to the men's quarters this late at night? No, I didn't mean that. I was just asking. And why would I want to go to the men's quarters? Girls are more fun. We can have sleepovers, tell stories, do each other's nails and hair, and maybe kiss too. Forgive me, you just got here and I'm already teasing you. Then Ivy stopped in front of a large wooden door. It seemed heavy enough that she had to use some actual strength to open it. Once she did, a group of women rushed towards them, hurling question after question. Is that the new girl? Is she so cute? A human? No, my 5 royals. I told you. Your hair's so pink. Is it natural? Don't ask that. I just want to know. Stop scaring the new girl. We'll have time for that later. Shush, she can hear you. Ladies. The women clapped once loudly enough for all of them to hear. After that, they quickly lined up in 2 rows, giggling among themselves. These women will be your co-workers from now on. Please introduce yourself. I'm Camellia Robinson, the new maid. I'm so excited to work at this mansion. It's always been a childhood dream of mine. You are so cute. I want to bite your cheeks. We haven't had a new staff member in so long because we ate them all. I'm so happy we got an extra pair of hands. We really needed the help. Now ladies, I'll leave you to your own devices, but remember, tomorrow starts earlier than normal. Yes, said Maid. Yeah. The rain didn't stop all night. The basement only had small, high windows that were close to the ground, but even then, she could still hear it as it went from just a rainy night to a storm. The thunder was loud and resonated all around her, or maybe she just felt like it was her. She wondered how Ivy, the head maid, was able to handle the loud sound. Morning came before she could sleep a wink, but the storm didn't stop. When the bell rang slowly, all the women woke up and readied themselves for the day. They were suddenly a noisy bunch, almost seeming to have forgotten about her existence completely as they chatted among themselves. Most complained about the rain and their ruined plans. This sucks. I'm sure that dog understands. Wait, what? I'm sure that dog understands? Okay. The second maid elbowed the other one in the ribs to get her to stop, while the first one looked defeated and sad. She's the one She's the one dating that dog? Okay, I did not sign up for bestiality. Just shut up. There was an awkward silence that lingered in the room as everyone else continued their morning routines in silence. Suddenly, the door burst open and Ivy strode in. Greetings, ladies. There has been a change in the schedule due to the rain, so here are copies of the new one. Everyone read the paper and the noisy chatter started again. Camellia read and reread the paper 100 times, but she couldn't see her name anywhere and started to worry. She looked around for the others, hoping someone else would notice, but if they did, they didn't make any comment. Now, everyone, to your posts. Speak up. Excuse me? Yeah? I'm not on the schedule. I have looked at the paper a few times and covered her mouth in embarrassment. Seems I made a mistake. But don't worry, today is your first day, so I'll show you around and explain responsibilities as we go. Now follow me, please. I'll be your guide for today. Yes, Miss Ivy. Immediately, head maid Ivy stopped on her heels and looked at her with a shocked expression on her face. Camellia froze where she might have said the wrong thing and spent what felt like an eternity looking at each other. Did I do something wrong? If I did, I deeply apologize. It was never my intention. It took a second for Ivy to respond. She just blinked at her a few more times. No, you've done nothing wrong, darling. It's just surprising. What's surprising? Again, Ivy just arched an eyebrow at her, unsure how to answer her question. She seemed more perplexed as Camellia didn't have anything to say. Ivy looked at her up and down, wondering if she had some other motives, a plan, anything, but she stood there. The young woman didn't seem to have a single clue about the weight of her words, her eyes bright and innocent. You don't spend time around commoners, do ya? What does that mean? Come on, let's get going. When Aunt Ivy started walking, the thud of her heels resonating the wooden floor. Behind her, Camellia seemed to struggle to keep up with her pace. First things first, because this is, as you know, a matter of great historical importance, there are unending lists of rules related to the care of most items. My suggestion is to avoid them entirely. 1. Most items are included in specific rooms dedicated to them, with magic runes that allow for their proper conservation. Wait, I have no magic power. I can't feel runes or anything. How do I avoid these rooms? There's a very gentle light that comes from these rooms, although I am certain if it can be seen by the naked eye. I do know that some of the human workers mentioned that there's a humming coming from the rooms. You will have to test that yourself. You have magic abilities, Miss Ivy. That's impressive. Again, Ivy looked at her with confused expression. She tilted her head as if the gesture would make things clearer for her, but then decided against continuing the conversation. Then they stopped by a grand door, and Ivy opened it. This is the main dining hall where the family likes to have dinner. If you ask them, they'll argue that they have lunch and dinner here. That never happens, though. They all have different schedules. Ignore it. They will say, oh, but today is different. We are all having lunch at the same time. Do not believe any of them. Always check the schedule first. Some meals can be properly stored for later, and we do not wish to waste any food. Next is the silverware. There are several sets. As you'll soon see, it is important to remember which set is required for each specific situation. Some might be more obvious than others. Sabrina, the youngest daughter, likes lilac, I don't mispronounce. So of course the tea set with lavender flowers is hers. She is the one that will make a fuss if you get it wrong. But she is 10. Next are the off gray. They are for the oldest son. He will ask you the color of them. Say it's dark white. Aren't they gray? They are, but he will go on a very long explanation as to why gray is not a real color, and you do not want to hear it. Nobody does, including his sisters. The rest of the family is okay with any tea set. Mr. Silverella might look a bit dejected when using any other cup, but he won't complain at all. His favorite set is actually the cheapest one, but from what I've gathered, he just likes the color of it. It's a very dark red. Am I supposed to remember all that? Goddamn it, I should be writing that. Next are the most important ones. While you will not be left alone during your early days working here, it is of great importance that you remember the purpose of each set. You might be assigned to tea parties with important dignitaries who, unlike the family, they greatly care about decorum and old traditions. So, the titular Silveriron set is only to be used of balls, so of course it is the biggest set in storage. This one requires far less maintenance than the rest. It only needs to be cleaned once a month with regular household cleaning products. The blood rain set is extremely dangerous and should not be handled by humans. You will see some disregard this, but I implore you to listen to my warning. I won't. Please don't. But why humans? The specific eludes me, but to my understanding, the material is very toxic. But if anyone asks you to handle it, report it to me immediately. The set with a water design is a name most people can't pronounce, so we refer to it as the water set. Creative. Now one is for important foreign dignitaries, now local. Foreign. It will be considered offensive if you bring any other set. I know that. My father has this blue silverware set that we never used before, and he never allowed me to touch it. He said it was only for important occasions, but it was never used. Foreign dignitaries care too much about all this nonsense. Now, follow me to the kitchen. Yeah, I have to end it here, fellas, because I think it's I have to prepare for work now. So this is, I don't know, whatever this is. If you want to try to get for yourself, the links in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves. I'll push the title in the game and the YouTube channel, the YouTube title or something.